Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. 4-game card today, so I am going to give you guys 4 picks, 4 results. But before we get into it, guys, I ain't feeling 100% on it. I'll be completely honest. I don't got a great read on it. We're just gonna have to take our shots and go with it. But this card is a little bit tough. A lot of sharp chasing type of action type card. So, let's get into it. We'll see. We're gonna navigate through it a little bit carefully and just take our shots. We got Pittsburgh on the road to Toronto. If you guys watch both Mexican League soccer, you both watch Liga MX and hockey, guys, the best comparison I can make is these Maple Leafs are kind of like a Cruz Azul, I guess. Whenever I'm on them, they find ways to lose. Whenever I'm against them, they find ways to win. That's just kind of how this Toronto team is. They struggle a lot to cover that puck line. I don't see them win too many games by that -1.5 by 2 goals. So if you pick the Maple Leafs, you are going to be sweating that game the whole time. So if you want to lay -168 and just sweat it out the whole time, that's up to you guys to make. I'm going to take the Penguins strictly on that price because I can't lay -168 with the Maple Leafs, and I can't even look towards the puck line because it's been so many games that they haven't won for 2 goals. It's just been too many games already that any wins that they do have, it's it's a 1-goal win. Their last 2, 3, 4 couple wins have been something like 3-4, 3-2, 5-4, something along that line. I haven't exactly kept up with all their exact scores, but looking at some of them, it is right around that 4-3 type thing. I was even watching it and again sweating the whole time because I had the Maple Leafs on -1.5 and they win by 1. I still lose anyway. So I would rather go with the Penguins. They're on a little bit of a road trip. First went to Philly, then Minnesota, then Winnipeg, and now they're in Toronto right before they go back home. They're 1-2 so far on this road trip. If they're about a 50-50 team on the road, then they make it 2-2 on this little 4-game road trip. Beat Minnesota, got absolutely blown out by Winnipeg, which we were on it. But Toronto and Winnipeg are just not the same. When Winnipeg wins, kind of under the radar. When Toronto wins, that attention goes right to everybody. So I think there's a difference in Winnipeg and Toronto's offense. Winnipeg is just miles better than the Toronto offense, in my opinion. So for me, it's going to be Pittsburgh to kick off our first game. Second game of the night, we got the Edmonton Oilers up against the St. Louis Blues. Oilers on the road. Guys, the St. Louis Blue team. Man, this team, I want to be nice, but guys, this team just sucks. This team sucks. It's not a team I want to catch a falling knife with, and I'm pretty damn good at catching falling knives. If you guys haven't noticed, if you guys haven't watched any of my Liga MX content, I'm pretty damn good at catching falling knives. And St. Louis is just not a team I want to do it with. If I had a little more plus money, maybe. But I think these prices are exactly where they should be. Yes, St. Louis sucks, but they are at home. Oilers are on the road, but believe it or not, the Oilers have not been the best team on the road. So which one of the 2 poisons do you want, guys? This is basically what this game is. Which of these 2 poisons do you want? But I'm going to roll with the Edmonton Oilers. It's not going to be the heaviest game I bet on. Something light, something normal, normal unit size. Edmonton Oilers for -140. I think they definitely are the more talented team. But this St. Louis team, man, they're just brutal. It's just absolutely brutal. But I would not be surprised also if they win because this Oilers team, again, it's just not as impressive at the moment. I think they're going to pick up the pace. The Oilers, for the last 2-3 seasons that I've watched them, they're a slow starter, guys. In the beginning of the season, they're usually not that great, not that dominant. But once the season gets rolling, once you get into the halfway, reaching to the second half of the season, that's when you really see the Oilers just pop off and win games very, very dominantly and convincingly. Right now, they're just I guess the best way I could put it is they're just warming up. They're just warming up. Once we get into that second half, I think they're definitely going to be a lot more dominant. So, but at least for this game, I think they get by maybe something like 3-2, something around there, 4-3, right around that kind of score, a 1 goal. Because I definitely don't want to be laying a puck line with the Oilers either. Just like Toronto, I think I'm going to sweat it out the whole time. But there's a difference between sweating out a -140 and a -168. So I'll take the Oilers in this one. Man, I have been secretly liking this Vancouver Canucks team, man. They are just a very, very good money maker on the road against teams that are right around the same level as them, and sometimes even better. Sometimes they even play the better teams tough. So I'm gonna keep it simple, guys. I'm on the Vancouver Canucks. I cannot be on this Nashville team, guys. This Nashville team is just they just lose a lot more than I see them win. And their wins that they do get, I'm just not impressed by it. Meanwhile, the Canucks, they fight everybody tough. The Canucks fight everybody tough. Every single game they've had, they've been fighting it tough. There's a couple stinkers in their record, sure, but not like the Predators. Even at home, the Predators do not have that great of a record. The Canucks are about 50-50 just all around. But I think most of their wins have come on the road. Out of their 6 wins, I think the Canucks took 4 on the road. So we're going to keep that rolling. I'm going to roll with the Canucks for some plus money. Plus 102. They're a very, very slight underdog. Again, I'll never be surprised by any results, guys. I'll almost never be surprised by any results. The NHL can be pretty damn weird. So sometimes you got to make some weird picks yourself. But I like this Canucks team. They just fight a lot harder than anything the Nashville Predators do. And aside from that, again, the Predators are just not that great at home. They're just not that great in general, guys. The Nashville Predators are that team that, they have good players. They just can't get it together. That it's the chemistry, in my opinion, from what I see. They just can't get it together, and when they do, again, you're still sweating a 1-goal win. And I know with -122, it's not that big a deal, but I'd rather just get the team that's a lot more scrappy, that keeps things a lot more tougher. So I'll take the Canucks on this one for plus 102. No game of the night. Again, guys, all these games are pretty tight and pretty tough. I know some of these games, the lines don't really seem like, they're -110s on each side, pick'ems, but they feel like it because as much as I've seen these teams play, it feels like it can be a damn pick'em. But Chicago on the road to Seattle. Guys, this one's a tough one, and I think this one is the trappiest one out of all the games. Because the Kraken, they're good. This team is good, but they just haven't been showing it lately, and they haven't shown it their last couple of games. They've been keeping games close, and they just choke in overtime. They choke in these overtime games. I think it's already the second game in a row that they've choked in overtime. And this Chicago team, they've kept a lot of games close and even won some of those games close against good teams. But their last game against Winnipeg, they didn't keep it close, and we were on Winnipeg on that one too. So, it's again another one. Which poison do you want? Do you want Chicago, who's keeping the games close, or are you betting that Chicago keeps this game close and pulls out a win against a choking Seattle, or does Seattle wake up and dominate this Chicago team who's on a little bit of a road trip? Right before they go back home, Seattle has been comfortable at home, but not really showing much fight out of it. This one is arguably the toughest one, guys. If I want the Kraken, guys, I think I'm going to take the -1.5 because I don't want to pay -150. Have it go in overtime, sweat that thing the whole time, and then maybe they even lose. Chicago, they just got blown out by Winnipeg. I don't know how much I trust them to really bounce back. Our total's at 6. Maybe this game is close. Maybe. Okay, guys. I think I'm going to roll with the Chicago Blackhawks. I'm going to roll with the Chicago Blackhawks I'm going to go with the idea that the trend is my friend. And if the trend is Seattle going into overtime and keeping games close against any team that comes into their stadium and it goes into overtime, then if the game is close, I'd rather have Chicago and some plus money in my back pocket than to sweat out a minus 150. Trust me, guys, I want to lay this puck line so bad. I really do. But I can't do it. I can't do it with a team that's just not getting wins. And if they were at least getting some one-goal wins back to back to back to back, I say, okay, maybe that offense is clicking and there's going to be that one game where they explode. That was kind of my theory with Winnipeg. That's kind of how I played Winnipeg, and we've cashed 2 puck lines back to back plus money. But Kraken is not Winnipeg. So we're going to go with the Chicago Blackhawks for plus 130 to finish off our night. Again, Chicago is pretty good at keeping these games close. I just hope they're able to bounce back from that Winnipeg loss.